have you seen anyone um, come out of these experiences with I guess, a negative disposition afterwards, or they go on a negative trip or a bad trip? Like, how many of those are you seeing in practice right now?
Yeah, absolutely. There's actually a lot in Australia. So what happened was after Australia rescheduled psilocybin and MDMA, Australia does a big household drug survey every year, and the use of hallucinogenic drugs actually went up like 3 or 4% from normal.
Hmm.
So there was quite a significant increase in people experimenting and seeking these medicines. And what ended up happening was there was a big increase in psychotic episodes. There was a
Shit.
big increase in anxiety. There was a big increase in, I think it's called can't remember the acronym, but it was like persistent hallucinogenic something disorder. And that's the like extended trip, basically. You're seeing
Wow.
fractals and geometric shapes and stuff, and people can get stuck in these realms. But I see a lot of like existential crises. I see a lot of people question themselves or the world or decisions they've made, and these medicines can really bring up lots of big feelings like that for people. And I would always encourage people to go and get some support. Never make a decision, a life changing decision, within a few weeks after any medicine. It doesn't matter how you choose to go about it. Life decisions need to be put on hold for a period of time.
Right. And what about in your practice? Are you seeing any negative outcomes from the sessions that you're seeing coming out of the clinic?
So, not in the clinic in Australia, we have had no adverse reactions. And that can be put down to our rigorous screening processes that we have. So, that I think is
Wow.
something to be celebrating as a country.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty bold claim to have negative outcomes. I mean, I know the medical profession for anti-anxiety and antidepressants definitely cannot say that. Um,
Yeah, no,
the
no, no recorded adverse outcomes in Australia yet, and there's been 110 patients have been dosed in Australia.
Wow, great, great success so far. I mean, I
Yeah.
would love to see again with I think a lot of people wish medicine could move a little bit faster, especially in the mental health space. Whereas,
Mm-hmm.
you have certain dosing protocols that are not super high as we talked about earlier, but maybe for some people they're too high. So it would be great if they could just start saying, okay, this person has depression and they want to start doing a microdose once a week and doing thought and talk therapy with it, and just see if there is progress with just
Yeah.
basic life depression or life anxiety or however you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice if people could move faster with things like that, because yeah, I can imagine if like they've legalized marijuana in Canada, and I know so many people now that didn't do these substances that are doing a gummy every night to get to sleep, or going
Mm-hmm.
to a dispensary to have a nightly smoke, and like they've become crutches in a lot of ways. Like, I can't say that
Yeah.
they have been more or less helpful. Like, I'm not going to make that sort of sweeping claim, but
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine that if some people just would like to have something to maybe accompany their talk therapy, then maybe instead of going to like a big dose or a hero dose or a mini dose, someone can try a micro dose of something just to get a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more perspective and see if that helps them along. But the way medicine moves, it just would take so long to do these things. It's such a shame that we can't be more agile with the with the system. Have you seen benefits through microdosing
I
as
hear
well?
you. I have a few patients that have disclosed that they do microdose, and it significantly helps the talk therapy process. Obviously,
Right.
I'm not involved in their access to the microdose, and I definitely don't condone it. I tell them that that's my hard line. But in the very same hand, I also respect and appreciate their honesty to be open with me about that. What they choose to do is entirely their choice, but even they report how helpful that it has been for them. in being able to manage their anxieties and being able to apply the therapeutic skills that we do or trauma processing that we work through.
Right. Okay.
But
I
there are
mean,
some studies coming out about microdosing, so we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. I think the field is moving really quickly, and people need to be mindful of that too.
right.
Just last week there was a study posted around psilocybin used in Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
and they found it reconnected the brain. And we know Alzheimer's is cognitive decline, so the brain deteriorating, which
Whoa.
is amazing, right? There is
Amazing.
currently a study underway using DMT for methamphetamine addiction.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're finding some pretty incredible results, like preliminary findings, but nonetheless,